We're back for day 2. I'm going to be making the peanut butter cookies and the banana bread. It's slightly storming out today, so I apologize for any sounds you might hear, but let's get into it. We're going to just quickly mix our peanut butter, our sugar, our egg all together with a little bit of salt. And then we're going to let that sit in the fridge for half an hour minimum to an hour. But instead of just waiting, we're going to finish up our entire banana bread. Then we'll get back to the peanut butter cookies. Once we have the peanut butter in, we're going to add in our sugar. Once we have the sugar and the peanut butter together, we'll just mix it up. Then we'll add in our eggs and salt. So our salt first. And then let's add in our eggs. Now we just mix this up. And then we'll wrap it, put it in the fridge, and get started on our banana bread. We'll just pour all this peanut butter on here. Get it nice and flat so it cools down quicker. And then make sure you wrap it nice and good. Then we'll let this sit in the fridge for minimum half an hour. This is a bit thicker, so maybe minimum 45 minutes. But we'll definitely be over that time since I'm gonna fully make the banana bread. So we'll be fine for this. Now for the banana bread, we're gonna sift our flour, our baking soda, and salt together. Add our pinch of salt and our baking soda. Now we'll just sift it through and make sure that it's all incorporated in together. This will aerate the flour to make sure that everything is nice and fluffy and that it mixes in nicely. And it will also mix the baking soda all throughout the flour so that it rises properly when you fully bake this. Now we'll put this off to the side and start working on our banana. We'll start with our banana and brown sugar. If you're watching your sugar, you can use half the sugar and it will still work out fine. It just won't be as flavorful. I'm gonna test out to see if I can go with the eggs and everything all at once and mix it in. I want to see if I can make this as quick as possible so I don't have to worry about going one step at a time and slowing myself down when I do huge batches. So I'm gonna put eggs, sour cream. I'm going to be using sour cream today because I have some leftover sour cream and it works the same as buttermilk, it just won't be as moist. So let's put the eggs in and let's get the sour cream in. And I'll just start mixing this up quickly. I don't want the sour cream to curdle those eggs. Make sure before you start mixing any of this that everything's ready. You have your oil ready, you have your flour ready, the oven's preheated. Because as soon as this is mixed together, the baking soda starts to work. And if you wait too long, all the baking soda is going to be used up and you're going to make a stone. So make sure that you go quickly. We're going to first add in our flour, a third at a time. By the way, it looks good, looks like normal, so far this experiment's working. When you're almost fully mixed, add your next third. And then finally your last third. Then use the oil to slowly mix everything else in. This is the point in time where you want to mix very little, but make sure that everything's incorporated together. Now I'm going to just scrape everything down and make sure that there's no flour pockets. There we are. We're going to quickly just pour it into our pan. And to make sure that you get a nice break down the center, grab some oil. Make an oil line right down the middle. Make sure you can see the line so that you know that it's worked. And we're going to put this in the oven right away. Banana bread's just about to come out, so I'm going to get my first 12 cookies ready to go. It's the same temperature, so I'm going to quickly just put them in. Once you have them all scooped out, press them down with your fork. And make sure you put the rest of the dough back in the fridge. You want this to be cold when it goes into the oven. Banana bread bounces back at the top. Got a nice crack down the middle. Looking great. Now let this cool down, then take it out. This one won't be frozen like the other bread and pie, because they're going to eat it on the trip up north. So we'll come back once the cookies come out. Just took these cookies out. What you're looking for is the browning around the sides. That's how you know it's fully cooked, and it still will be soft after you've cooled down a bit. We're gonna just let these cool for a bit. Once I can take them off and put them on my cutting board, I will put the next batch on these and just reuse everything. You can always reuse your parchment paper as long as it's just come out of the oven. Everything should have died by then. So you can use the same parchment paper all day and have no problems with it. However, if you start using it way too much and it starts to flake on you, those flakes could end up in your food, so be careful. They're looking good. Once these cool down, we'll put some chocolate drizzle on them. We'll be done. Now all that's left to do is wait for them to fully cool down and then drizzle chocolate on them. If you do want a harder cookie and not a soft cookie, just cook it a minute or two longer. Don't go past 4 minutes or it will start to burn. So let's just wait till all this is cooled down. Now that everything has cooled down, I'm going to put some chocolate on. If you have a squirt bottle like this, it's perfect, but if you don't, just make a little piping bag or use a piping bag. These are really nice because when you get these in here, now you can just put this in the warm water and melt it if it ever gets too cold, and it's the perfect thickness. Well, I made that one look ugly, but gives you a lot more control to make it look good. Gives it a nice thicker chocolate so that it's a lot nicer. Unlike with the piping bag, you might get a thin one, a thicker one, who knows? This is always consistent. So we're just gonna do all of them. And we'll come back when everything's done to talk about it. So here's how it turned out. I also have that pie and bread for them. I'm gonna give them half chocolate, half not chocolate. This way I can get some feedback on the plain and with the chocolate. And of course the banana bread. So these will all be going up north. The other pie and bread will be frozen so that it can make it all the way up north. Everything turned out great. All we have to do is wait for them to pick it up. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. I even have my own website. Thank you, and have a nice day.